reportedly making $4 million on her first day.
When we first started, I made $1 million in 6 hours. And by the end
She only made that because there was a whole bunch of people waiting to. She turned 18. Like, people.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up?
What up? It's my J back at another video. Today we're about to be reacting to a video by The Truth Is. And the video is going to be on how OnlyFans secretly trapped millions of creators. I mean, honest to God, we already see all these OF creators screenshotting their fucking profits that they made from all the losers online and shit, but they don't dive in to like how much they're probably like getting, you know, probably like the chunk that OnlyFans is trying to, take from them. And I don't know what this video is going to be on, but like I feel like it's leaning toward that way. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe because we are on the road to 550. But let's get into the video.
In 2020, we witnessed the explosive rise of millions flocked to the site with hopes of getting filthy rich. By 2024, the company hit the...
This thing is skipped out on saying OnlyFans. Oh fuck, I hope they don't take... Well, I mean, I don't even get fucking paid for this shit anyway right now, but let's see.
The absolute peak, becoming a multi-billion-dollar empire in the span of a few short years. This success was built entirely on the backs of creators lured by the promise of getting wealthy while taking control of their own bodies. With endless celebrity faces endorsing the brand, convincing young women to join was like taking candy from a baby. Millions signed up, completely unaware they had just fallen for a heavily disguised trap. While a select few at the top walked away with millions, the vast majority were left making less than minimum wage, permanently ruining their chances of ever landing a reputable job in the process. Today, we are revealing exactly how this company,
especially the normal ass like person that thought this would be like a good ass business adventure and didn't build any other social media up. Like, you're screwed for you have to make the social media thing work and you have to make the OnlyFans thing work, because you're not gonna go into a job, your fucking whole thing is gonna be searched upon by either coworkers or the boss is gonna find it. I'm talking about in serious ass working environments. Like fast food, they'll let you slide, retail, they'll let you slide, but it depends on what you're doing there. I didn't even do that, but okay.
trapped millions of creators without them ever even knowing it, leaving them broke with a permanent stain on their reputation. While the industry this company operates in has been around since the beginning of time, they managed to do something that has never been achieved before. They were able to turn this frowned upon job, which was a backdoor under the table service, into a global, widely accepted mainstream career path that was absolutely everywhere. Women in those industries once hid their involvement out of embarrassment or shame. When it came to the site, creators openly promoted their involvement on their social platforms, often linking their page right at the top of their profiles and bragging about their multi-million-dollar earnings in interviews. The company managed to completely rewrite the stigma behind the industry, turning it into a highly desirable path for young women to get rich fast. How they did it was seriously questionable. The company utilized the same classic strategy many major corporations have been doing for years. They used the most influential people to do all the heavy lifting. This was the first step in their plan. There were 3 crucial steps they took to trap millions of creators. The first step was the complete rebranding of the industry. They had to find a way to remove the negative stigma behind this sort of work and make it desirable and acceptable to the average person. They did this by turning celebrities into walking billboards for their brand. By privately cutting deals with some of the biggest influential names in the world, they created the exact perspective and demand they needed to get people on the platform. In the early days of the site, we saw many celebrities jump on board to promote it. Massive rap icons like Cardi B and Hollywood stars like Bella Thorne quickly turned the site into the hot new place to get rich quick. The way they promoted the site was highly strategic and incredibly manipulative. They abandoned the traditional branding known for this industry and repackaged it as a tool for independent women to make money while taking control of their bodies. They were told that this was a liberating path to financial freedom. It was marketed by every influencer and celebrity as the ultimate way for a woman to secure a bag without needing a man. The company
Man, this did not work good for a lot of people, bro. Cause one hand you can create and the normal woman will see this as oh my god, I can make so much money doing this, but they leave out the fact that you have to have some good ass notoriety about this or people are not gonna give a fuck about your shit. It's like you have to create like some sort of social media campaign. You gotta be on Instagram making short TikToks and videos every day, attracting all the gooners to your fucking like you know, trying to phone them over to like to the OnlyFans. Basically, it was what I'm saying. That's what the hell Piper Raquel, and that's what the hell are all these people are doing right now, is they trying to come into the streaming world also. And well, they've been in the streaming world also, actually, with the hot tub streams, but they're trying to get into the IRL space by collaborating with the most popular streamers and taking their audience and trying to like do this shit and promote it. It's a smart plan, but like it's a ruthless ass world. But like going back to like the normal person is not gonna have all of that smart shit. They're just gonna jump into this, post something on OnlyFans, and then probably post it. What the hell are they gonna post this? They gotta create a whole new identity, and starting up from the fucking bottom, they're gonna think you a bot because a lot of bots going around doing this shit now.
Company even started tying itself to the feminist movement. When impressionable young women saw their idols telling them this was fully accepted by society, a guaranteed way to get rich, and a method of taking back their bodies, they came rushing in, and the site grew immensely overnight. Now, it wasn't just young girls trying to make some extra money. Regular everyday women began posting on the site, with one teacher eventually getting exposed for using her middle school classroom as a set to film her content. It seemed like everybody wanted in.
I think I just reacted to a video with her in that shit, and like it's really fucking weird that you like use that setting to promote that shit.
Once they turned the site into the hot new trend, it was time to keep people on the platform. They did this by creating the illusion that anyone can get rich, which is step 2. Not long after people started flocking to the site, creators began flexing how much they were making every chance they got. It was almost like they were advised to brag about their earnings or something. Bella Thorne famously crashed the site and made $1 million in her first 24 hours. Black China allegedly made $20 million a month at her peak, but it was Danielle Bregoli, also known as Bad Baby, who took things even further, reportedly making $4 million in her first day.
When we first started, I made $1 million in 6 hours. And by the end
She only made that because there was a whole bunch of people waiting to she turned 18. Like, people have been watching this girl ever since she was about like, I don't even want to say it, probably like, you know, 41 backwards. I'm gonna say it like that because a lot of people say it like that. It covers a lot of shit because like YouTube is weird like that. But like a lot of people have been watching this girl since she was like 41 backwards, and it's so disturbing how many people signed up for this shit when she literally fucking turned 18. But it's no like regular shit. Like a lot of girls followed straight after this, Lil Tay and Piper Raquel in recent history. It's just fucking disgusting how all these people like flocked to her page and like did that shit.
of the day, it was at like 40. And now overall, the net on it is like 75.
While Bad Baby became the biggest success story, she at the same time became the most disturbing one. Her entire debut on the site relied entirely on her coming of age birthday, which many all over the world desperately waited for. They were so interested in seeing her cross the mark, they wasted $4 million in one day. Soon after, the success stories kept piling up. Iggy Azalea was making over $9 million a month. Lil Tay later mirrored this disturbing trend, flexing about clearing $1 million in just 3 hours immediately after joining. It seemed like everyone was making millions by posting. If reshaping the stigma behind the industry was setting the trap, this is the moment when the trap snapped shut. With all of these success stories, women had the incentive they needed to post the content they were likely too embarrassed to post.
Bro, and this insensitized like people that are not 18 yet to just go, oh my God, they just made a lot of money baiting their age. Let me do that. They don't even give like life a chance. They come swinging at the ballpark. Like just when they turn 18, a few hours, they got everything prepared. Like that's fucking disturbing. And the weirdest fucking example to set for the future people.
Seeing these women make millions overnight gave them every reason to take that risk. Who cares if some people would judge them or if they can never get a real job again, as long as they get rich? Soon, everyone with a profile was gonna be able to get rich. Well, everyone except for 99% of the people who made accounts. While some people did make millions on the site, most of those reports were proven to be extremely exaggerated, either to promote the site itself or to build their personal page by creating artificial hype. Either way, most people weren't making as much as they claimed. But the people who really weren't making any money were everyone else who didn't have a massive online following. Some celebrities easily made millions because they were already famous. Millions of people were already interested in them. But the average person with no social media followers was guaranteed to make almost no money. Statistical data from 2024 to 2026 indicates that most creators earn far less than a full-time minimum wage salary. The median account earns approximately $150 to $180 per month. Since this is the median, 50% of all creators.
Not gonna lie, you're gonna have to do a lot of strange ass shit to just probably like make, like, you know, you don't have like notoriety on any type of platform. You're gonna do a lot of strange ass shit. Like that person I just reacted to before, it was a story of her going into stuff, peeing on shit, and, you know, doing a lot of weird shit. There's a lot of people just doing a lot of weird ass shit in gyms, playgrounds, and a lot of shit just like rubbing themselves on shit and promoting their, you know, their brand in some type of way just to get some shock value and, you know, get people flooded to their platform. But I feel like it's so many women doing this nowadays. It's so oversaturated, and like people do not even give a fuck no more, bro. Well, about the regular person, but if it's a person with a lot of notoriety, that's when it stops and they give a fuck.
Earn this amount or less. For a full-time job in the US, even a low federal minimum wage equates to roughly $1,250 per month. Only about 3 to 4% of creators earn more than this amount. But you know who is guaranteed to make lots of money?
Shit.
The company. In 2024, after paying out 80% to creators, the platform retained $1.41 billion in net revenue. You may think, how did they make so much money if most creators on the platform are barely making enough in a month to cover a dinner for two? Well, they take a cut from every single person that posts, whether it be a person making $100 a month or $4 million in a month. Considering there are over 4.6 million creators on the platform, you can see how they were able to make billions of dollars quite easily. The company turned millions of women into their assets, bringing in non-stop money. While the company gets richer, the creators who are in the bottom 90% throw away their futures for a couple of dollars a day. This pushed many creators to the point of no return. Once a creator realizes they aren't making the millions they were promised, the logical choice would be to simply delete the app and walk away. But the site designed a system where leaving means facing the permanent consequences of the internet. When you make an account and post the first piece of content, your digital footprint is permanently altered. Third-party websites instantly archive everything uploaded to the platform. We all know the internet is forever. When you apply for a job after posting on the site,
yeah, you archive shit, and plus people snatch all your shit from there and just put it into a file and throw it to Reddit or some other, you know, site that they be dwelling on. But I feel like people really have to give a fuck. But like, it's probably with this reason to go for like the Wayback Machine or some other, you know, some other thing just like the Wayback Machine.
It does not work out. A simple search can lead employers directly to your profile. Not only might it be embarrassing, but in most cases, it can cost you your job. This means these creators usually have nowhere else to go. Either they stay on the site or they explore the darker traditional side of this industry. Because these average creators are barely scraping by, making that $150 a month, desperation sets in. The platform internal ranking system heavily favors high-frequency posting and consistent engagement. To compete with the 4.6 million other creators on the site, they are forced to push their personal boundaries further and further. They start offering more extreme content for less money just to keep the few paying subscribers they managed to get. The independence they were promised completely vanishes. They become totally bound to a digital algorithm forced to consistently produce just to maintain a poverty-level wage. The company essentially built a one-way door. They invited millions of women in with the promise of taking back their power, took their 20% cut of every single transaction, and left them permanently trapped in a digital cage they can never fully escape. Just like that, the corporations created a new thriving billion-dollar industry off the backs of small creators who would never make enough to even get by. It functioned as a direct evolution of the content they were already hooked on. They trapped female creators with the promise of endless money. Likewise, they trap young lonely men with the promise of real intimate connection. Creators on
literally works vice versa, but the person that still loses is all of them, because the corporations end up literally fucking taking the, you know, the biggest split. But also the biggest loser is the nigga, because These fools actually believe they're talking to a real person. I will keep reminding this like every type of OnlyFans or every time about type of adult content video that'll literally be talked about on like a reaction that I'd be doing, because like maybe this will get people to wake up. Probably won't, but like I just like to keep mentioning that because like it's a stupid fact about it. These idiots just keep getting duped and actually thinking they're talking to people in the messages.
Traditional sites rarely interacted with the consumers of that content, but this site promised the consumers the ability to have a direct connection with these creators for a price. On this site, users could request a special video or give a big donation directly to their favorite creator with the push of a button. This created the false illusion that they had a connection with these creators. The creator, and especially the company, exploited this connection to milk every single dollar. Reports show some men tipped unbelievable amounts for private videos from these creators on top of their monthly subscription. Some of these lonely men are spending their entire paychecks on these creators. In California alone, residents spend approximately $350 million on subscription and tips in 1 year. This accounted for nearly 13% of the total US market. These young men were practically throwing their money at the site, searching for a connection they were never going to find. The sad reality is, the more they used the platform, the lonelier they became. The connection
And go out and find a real girl, bro. I know these dating apps ain't shit as it is, but like at least they're not gonna be like taking your pocket as much as these, like, well, I mean, depending on who you meet, like basically on those apps or even in real life, if you got the balls to go out and do that, like at least you'll be having some type of connection with somebody instead of just getting your pockets ran, your digital pockets ran by some fucking thought online.
was strictly financial, leaving these young men with nothing the moment they ran out of money. They were left even lonelier than before. This unnatural relationship likely made it even harder for them to build genuine connections with people in the real world, further pushing them deeper and deeper into that content. The company created the perfect unsuspected trap. They convinced a generation of young women that selling their beauty was the peak of independence. At the exact same time, they convinced millions of young men that paying for a false digital relationship was a value. Both sides were handed a carefully crafted illusion.
Loki, this literally drives like these type of niggas when they can't get like this type of attention from the woman and like they get more lonely, they start going into these AI bots and they start forming a whole little connection with them. That industry is just booming right now because like they getting people like paying for these monthly subscriptions for this and interacting with like some AI that literally just learns and fucking tell you what you want to hear.
The creators sacrificed their future reputations and potential careers for pennies. The consumers drained their bank accounts for a fleeting sense of intimacy that left them more isolated than before. While these two groups fed off each other's desperation, the corporations sat perfectly in the middle, collecting their 20% cut of every single transaction. This was a highly coordinated corporate operation. They took the oldest industry in the world, packaged it in modern empowerment marketing, and weaponized human loneliness to build a multi-billion-dollar empire. The empowerment society as a whole was genuinely impacted by this industry. Many young...
I'm sorry, it sucks, but like they know the risk they're taking and they know that, I feel like you should do like research going into anything. This is probably not going to work in your favor. Like between you and a star that's probably like, looked upon as like a influencer and they got like thousands of followers at least and starting up that way instead of you just starting up with like no social media and just starting the OnlyFans. And what you going to do? Promote it around the neighborhood, promote it like online in some adult thing. But shit's not gonna work. Nobody gives a fuck about like the lower tier people that just made an OnlyFans and had no notoriety.
Girls are still operating off the false impression that they do not need to go to college or figure out a good career. They believe they can just go on the site and get rich. Many young men are being taught to avoid the pressure of finding real intimate connections and chase after the ones that they can buy for a few bucks. This company has fundamentally changed the way people see the world. In my opinion, the damage this is causing is irreversible. What is truly sad is that there are no signs of this stopping. Every day, more and more young girls are signing up and making the mistake of posting. Young men are putting in their credit card numbers, spending the little bit they have. At the end of it all, the company piles up billions while doing it. What do you think? Do you feel like the site was a negative as a whole for society, or
Honestly, I think the site is a negative as a whole for society, but like what has like not all these social media has been doing for years. I feel like this is became like one of the most platforms that like, you know, kind of like, you know, just drove it more into the future by like setting up potential paywalls and, you know, setting up people to get paid more. And it just kind of, and on the other hand, it did kind of influence a lot of people to just give up and just go straight into this industry and just, you know, make it seem like this is a better route to go into, you know, better route to go away into college. I don't know, some people be doing this on the side and just still going to college. At least they're doing that, but like some people give up their whole college career and just go straight for this shit. It's despicable. And the dark side behind this is people actually go and, you know, just give up and just as soon as they turn 18 they think this is the lucrative way. But hey, man, shit, I think this OnlyFans has became like a negative impact on both sides, even for the people. The gooners have especially they became fascinated by this, but the gooners are transitioning to the AI bots, so guess we'll see what happens in the future. But hey, if you guys like that video and want to check out the original, I'll leave it in the description. And we are on the road to 550. Catch you guys in the next video.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?